Hi everyone, I'm Laima. Thank you for joining us. I am the founder and archpriestess of the Temple of Auset Serpentarius. And this is Tara, a sister priestess in the temple. And we are going to guide you on a magical journey for embodying your star goddess during this sacred portal of the 6 star goddesses forming a Merkaba in the sky. And I'll let Tara tell you more about that. Tara.
Okay, thank you, Laima. So this formation is occurring in the sky, and it perfects, or it's exact, tomorrow night, August 13th. And the 13 is a very sacred number. It's the number of lunations or moon cycles in the sky. And we want to live a symbolic life, and a life where we connect to the cosmos, to the as above, so below. And this is exactly what this is all about. So tomorrow night, August 13th at 10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's after midnight in Eastern Daylight Time in GMT. Just went off there. We can align. There's a 24-hour window of opportunity where we can align with these 5 goddesses, asteroids, and the planet Venus and the moon. So we embody the moon. We draw down the moon from the as above, so below, so within. And a 6-pointed star is a sacred Merkaba. It's your light body. It represents the balance of heaven and earth. And all of these occur in earth and water, which are the feminine signs. So traditionally, this is what you would do. You would align when the planets, the asteroids, the moon is aligned with you, and you draw down the moon. That's what it means to be a sacred priestess, to work with the moon, with Grandmother Moon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So, as Tara said, this is a very auspicious time, and to be doing this ritual at this time will help to affect change on the planet for bringing in the divine feminine and shifting from this overloaded, outmoded patriarchal paradigm and truly bringing in the divine feminine energies from the stars themselves. And we are star goddesses. We are in our body, in our blood, we are of the stars. So we're so happy that you're joining us for this sacred ritual. And I think we should get started. What do you say?
Okay, yes. So as each woman holds this energy, anchors this energy, your intention is everything. Just follow along. We're going to try to keep it very simple, not too complicated. I am an astrologer, but we'll keep it very basic here. And don't worry about it. Your intention is everything. So, Laima,
okay,
you want to start?
You're going to need some things to do this ritual, and you can stop and start the video to follow along. But here are 2 simple ritual items that you want to have. You want to have a little bowl or a little teacup that you can put some water in and bless the water. Just breathe into it and say, may this water be blessed as the holy water of the Divine Mother. And then a stone of some kind. It doesn't have to be a crystal. This is rose quartz for love. And or you can just use a simple stone from your garden. But you need these 2 elements because the cup symbolizes water and the stone symbolizes earth. And so since this Merkaba that we are forming, this 6-pointed star, is of the feminine elements of the earth and the water. So you want to have these handy, and you want 3 of the cups and 3 of the stones. Okay? So let's show them this diagram of what we've got coming up.
Yeah. So traditionally a Merkaba, we have an inner light body, a Merkaba, the upward pointing triangle. It traditionally represents the masculine or the active in this point, and the downward pointing triangle is the feminine. So it's an interlocking 2 triangles called a grand sextile in astrology, and we want to draw that energy together. So it's also the symbol of the sacred marriage as well. So, okay. So what we want to do, Kathleen, you want to ask them to draw out this triangle then? Because it's important during a ritual to embody, and the physical act of drawing that sacred interlocking triangle helps you to align with it.
Okay. So can you see this okay? Yeah? All right. So you want to get a big piece of paper, and you want to draw 2 interlocking triangles, one with the point up and one with the point down. And once you have that drawn on your paper, then you want to, at the top of your triangle, you're going to add, this is me, that means you. That's you. You're the top of the Merkaba, and this is where the moon is at in the sign of Capricorn. Tara's going to tell you more about that. But these are the symbols of these asteroid goddesses and the goddesses that we're going to be working with in this Merkaba. So first, at the top, put in that symbol of the moon.
Okay. And the high priestesses always wear a crescent moon on their forehead to dedicate themselves to the moon.
That's right. Okay, and then we move in the Merkaba, or in that triangle, down to Ceres.
Ceres, the goddess Ceres, she is the great mother of the earth, of the grains. She represents Mother Earth. She represents the harvest. She is what we worship. She feeds all of her children, all the people, all the humans, all the animals. So she is the great mother Ceres. She is in the symbol of Taurus, whose symbol is the bull with the horns, which is also the moon, that same crescent moon symbol.
She's in the sign of Taurus. She's in the
sign of Taurus.
And then this is her symbol, this crescent moon with a cross at the bottom. Okay, and then we move across to
Venus.
And you know the symbol for Venus.
Right.
So
the symbol of Venus. Yep, sorry.
Is the woman's symbol.
Okay. And Venus is in Virgo, so this is the sign, again, of earthing, of grounding. This is the virgin goddess who is whole and complete and to herself and belongs to no man. She does what she does because it feels right to her at the moment, and she protects the earth, and she is the embodiment of the earth herself. Very natural. It's about the environment, and it's about what we nurture and how we digest things. So Virgos are very neat and very organized and very analytical and very intellectual as well. So this is about being a smart goddess here as well.
Absolutely, and a definitely most practical earth goddess, which we need more of us around here now to bring in this new paradigm of the divine feminine on the earth. Okay, so then you want to draw your line going back up to the top of the moon.
To the moon.
Which is you, and we are drawing down the moon as priestesses. Okay, so then for your second triangle, you want to do it with the down pointing triangle, and we start with which goddess?
We start with Juno and Lilith up in kind of the northeast. Okay, if you're looking at this as a compass, it would be up in the kind of the northeast.
Okay.
Okay, on the right side there. Okay, so Lilith was the first woman before Eve. She was the original goddess. She was the one who said, no man can dominate me. I do not compromise. You don't respect me. I'm out of here. She is symbolized by the snake, and she returned as the snake in the Garden of Eden to tell Eve, the second or the man-made woman, to think for herself, which she did. So Lilith is a very powerful, she's the dark goddess. She represents the menstruation cycle. You want to work with Lilith. Her sexual energy is very strong. She's very beautiful. People are kind of scared of her energy because she has so much power. And then there's also the goddess Juno.
And so draw her symbol. So draw this beautiful symbol of this waxing moon. Waxing moon with a cross at the bottom. That's Lilith. Yeah.
She is called the dark moon. Okay. And then there's the symbol of Juno, and it looks like a little scepter, or I like to think of it as a magic wand. She's got like 8 arms, like those traditional Indian 8-armed, goddesses who are multitasking, and I believe that she's the symbol. Her name means the feminine form of genius, whereas the masculine one would be the word genius. Juno means the feminine form of genius, and women are always multitasking, so to me that resonates as totally right. So you want to call on Juno, her wisdom, her genius, your own inner feminine genius at this time as well, in the sign of Scorpio, to transform, to move through any emotional stuff that's holding you back. You want to clear the way for a whole new beginning here, a rebirth. That's Scorpio energy.
Okay, and then we go from Juno and Lilith in Scorpio, and we move across to
Athena.
Athena in Pisces.
Okay.
And this is Athena's symbol, this diamond with a little cross on the bottom. And I really love Athena. She's a strategist. And, some people know her as a warrior goddess. But you know what? If she is a warrior, she's a warrioress of peace and prosperity for all of us, for the whole planet. She was, in my estimation, one of the original Amazons who was actually fighting to keep the patriarchy from taking over. And so I feel that she is a very important goddess. To me, she was not born out of Zeus's head. She is a goddess in her own right, and I believe that she is the daughter of Medusa. She's also a snake goddess. So she's someone to call on when you really need to get your life together in a way that supports you. And since she's in the sign of Pisces, Tara will tell you more about that.
Okay. And I totally agree with you, Kathleen. I've totally revisioned, all the patriarchal symbols of Athena being born from Zeus's head as if she never even had a mother. I mean, that's really a symbol of, that the men re-imaged her. But she was an Amazon from Africa. She had dreadlocks. That's what they saw as snakes, actually. So Medusa, I think she carries that symbol on her shield. So she's a very fierce goddess, and in Pisces is where we give ourselves away traditionally. We can be martyrs, and this is where you want to fight that, so you're not a martyr anymore, so you're not a victim. You want to move out of victim mentality into the power. And Pisces is very compassionate, so forgiveness, compassion, feeling oneness with all the women, all the goddesses, the sense of the cosmos. Pisces is the sign of the universe. So knowing that we are all one in the universe, and that's what Athena will help you to hold those boundaries. It's important that we have boundaries around ourselves too, to protect us. Okay. Yes. At the same time, we allow compassion and peace.
Right. And what we do for ourselves, we do for our other sisters on the planet. And that's Absolutely. A big part of what this ritual is about, is empowering our sisters in their goddesshood. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So from Athena, we move at the bottom, the very bottom of the triangle, we move down to Vesta, and her symbol is this little V with a little flame coming up. Vesta, the Vestal virgin who is one unto herself, but also known as Hestia. And she is the woman who is in her home as a priestess. We're all priestesses of our home temples, and how we keep that alive, how we keep that flame alive that burns within us, within our own hearts and our own hearths.
Okay. Yeah, she's like when you said the V for Vesta, I realized she's like this flaming vagina, because, I mean, originally they were tantric priestesses, So, the thing about virgin, when they twisted that all around too. So it's really about having the passion, being connected to your womb, to your uterus, to your sexuality, and using that energy, like in Kundalini energy, to focus on your heart. There's a hearth flame, a womb flame, to keep the focus on yourself. What do I want? What's important to me? And she is very dedicated, so once you take a kind of a vow to follow this goddess work, or you will do it. You kind of take that vow, and then the goddesses kind of hold you to the task. So it's important, what your words are here. She's in Cancer, so she really represents the womb. So if you're having any problems with your with your womb, with your reproductive system, your periods, really it would be good to focus on Vesta and what it is that your womb is trying to tell you, because the body is always honest, always gives you the answers.
Yes, and I love that she's at the bottom of our triangle of our Merkaba here, and the moon is above and she's below, so it's very powerful. And she's in the sign of Vesta's in the sign of
Cancer.
Cancer. Okay.
So the sign of the mother. The sign of the mother.
Right.
Nurturing, nourishment, it would be like receiving the goddess's love. I mean, really, if you haven't had a positive relationship with your mother, the best way to really understand her divine love is to connect to the divine goddess, the great mother, in any of her names or aspects, and really bring that down. So that's really what we're asking for as we align with the six-pointed stars with these asteroids and these goddesses, is to bring down the divine love of the mother through the moon, through the moon drops, and to heal ourselves so that we can heal the earth.
Right. Okay. So I think everybody probably has this, and you can make this on your own time. Make this, and you can take your time with it, making the symbols and creating this sacred space for yourself to draw down the moon and draw down these asteroid goddesses and the goddesses that are the stars themselves into your sacred space, into your temple. And so you want to place your three stones at the points on the triangle that are in the earth signs, right? So Venus in Virgo. Well, actually, we'll start with the moon. Capricorn and the moon, and then Virgo.
And Taurus. Then Ceres and Taurus.
Oh, and then Ceres. Okay?
Ceres and
so
Taurus,
put your rocks in those three spots of the earth. Okay? 1, here, 2, and 3. Okay?
3. Yep.
And then your water will go on the your bowl of water will go on the water signs. And so we start with...
No, you start with Lilith and Juno up in the upper right there. Okay.
I thought we started at
and then
pointed triangle and go backwards.
No, we start in the top and we end up backwards. So it's the opposite. We're moving. So they're counterclockwise?
Yes.
So they interconnect.
Okay.
Okay. So we start there with Juno and Lilith in water in Scorpio, and then we move to Athena in Pisces, directly opposite. Yep. And then we bring it down to Vesta in Cancer. There we go. Okay.
And then you end up coming back.
You end up coming back, yeah.
You want those 3 cups on those 3 places. So that represents Juno and Lilith in Scorpio, Athena in Pisces, and Vesta in Cancer, the 3 water signs. Okay, so that's your setup. And so once they've got all of that set up, where do we go from there, Tara?
Okay, so what you would do, I mean, every person has their own way of kind of doing ceremony. To me, it really is your intention. You would start with the moon, and it's really about aligning yourself with the moon and sensing the moon kind of can awaken your pineal gland, so opening your crown chakra, feeling a sense of like that lunar crescent on your brow or on your crown chakra, really drawing down the moon. You know, the goddess has always had that upward arms, you know, drawing down the moon, and it's good to take that position, you know, where you're calling down the moon into your crown chakra, into your body. Okay, so you would just make an affirmation: I am the moon, I am a priestess of the moon, I am the moon embodied, I flow with life, I am awake in my intuition and my imagination and in my dreams and in my feelings. I honor my feelings, I honor the flow of change in my life.
Okay. Draw that energy down into our bodies, into our hearts.
And just breathe into it and feel that sense of the moon coming into your heart and really into your womb, because the moon and our wombs are one and they move in concert together. So it's very grounding.
Okay.
Okay. And then we would move to calling in the goddess Ceres. So Ceres is the great mother. You would picture her as this virgin goddess standing in the fields or in the mountains or somewhere beautiful. Taurus,
Mother
what's
God.
that?
A
A
mother.
mother goddess. Yeah, very mother goddess. She gives birth. She's very fertile. You know, like it's Hathor, the cow goddess, the bulls. You know, in Crete, where the women rode the bulls. You know, all of those kinds of symbols. You know, whatever that is to you. You know, or feeling your own body as Ceres. I am the great mother. You know, I bring forth the abundance of the earth. And Taurus is money and abundance physically. So if you want physical health, if you want more money in your life, you know, whatever it is, you want to be abundant on the physical level. So you would feel yourself being really full and really solid and very grounded and very bountiful, you know, like the thousand-breasted goddesses, you know, the goddess of Ephesus. So you would bring in that energy.
Okay. Then we move over to the next earth goddess, which is,
Yeah.
we all know and love her, Venus,
Okay.
the goddess
So
of
Venus,
love.
of love, yes. So she's the goddess of beauty, of harmony, of relationships, of the arts, of creativity, painting, you know, drawing, dancing. You know, anybody who's an artist, everybody has creativity naturally. So here's, you want to call on Venus to very practically allow your creative energies to flow. And she's also very intelligent. So, you know, women can be beautiful and smart at the same time. And, you know, I think at this point being smart is really a much stronger guide for what your beauty is, you know, how intelligent you are.
And that's perfect for Venus in Virgo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some astrologers say it's not a great placement for her, but I disagree. I have my moon in Virgo, and
Okay.
it's a great placement actually to really
Well,
in alignment, to be really in alignment with your beauty and your love and your intelligence and your practicality.
and she always gets the job done. So she's not just some, you know what I mean, romantic idealist. This is where she gets the job done. She can be a perfectionist. She works very hard. You know, her house is very neat and clean usually. We're having a little laugh about that.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So
All right.
let's move on to the other triangle.
Okay. So, you know, energetically, you would complete that triangle and move back to the moon. We're going to move into the water down pointing triangle now. We're going to move into Lilith and Juno. So Lilith and Juno together are a very, very powerful combination. They are pretty unstoppable. That's what my sense of them is, because Lilith like doesn't take any crap from anybody. She calls the shots totally. You know, she is the great creatress of everything. She's the dark goddess. She's like Kali. She brings death. She's the goddess of menstruation, you know. Nobody scares her. So you would call upon her kind of deep fearlessness, you know, and the ability to take no crap.
The depth of the waters
What?
at the depth of the waters, and you might want to take your vial of water and just bless yourself
Mm.
as a divine priestess of the goddess. And Lilith, ask Lilith to be with you for right action and right purpose and your truth. You're moving into the depth of your heart and your inner wisdom and truth with Lilith too. So just bless
And
you.
she is the snake. You know, she is the snake. So definitely you would writhe your way, Catholic, you know, Eva, you know this more than anybody. Um, embody that snake-like energy, shedding old skins at this point.
Right.
You know. And then Juno, you know, the goddess of feminine genius, you know, really seeing things from that perspective of woman's knowledge, which is very different than a kind of patriarchal, logical knowledge, you know. And so combining those two forces to me in Scorpio is very powerful. You could give birth to a whole new aspect of yourself here, you know.
Yes.
So,
I got the sense like take the water and just spritz it out all around
yeah,
you and in your environment,
yeah, cleanse your environment.
clearing the path for women's pure genius to shine. So we shed the old with Lilith,
Yeah.
and then we clear and open the way for the true genius of the Juno within each of us to shine.
Yeah. So this may, you know, when you open yourself to things like this, you know, something totally new that you've never encountered before will come in. And this is what we need because we're starting a whole new paradigm here.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, good. All right.
And then we go through
to Athena.
Athena and Pisces. Well, that's definitely being a warrioress through dissolving the old paradigm. Now, how are you going to do that with water? Athena and water, she is a strategist and a warrioress for womankind. Baths, taking nice long hot baths or cold baths if it's too hot where you are, but taking baths with sea salt or Epsom salt and purifying. It's purifying and letting that old energy dissolve out through your body, out through your pores, and just letting it flow out, merging back into the ocean mother.
Yeah. Also, I would say, you know, Pisces, because it has to do with the ocean, with the whales, with the dolphins, sending blessings to the water, to the oceans. You know, we know that we're all 70% water. Water holds our emotions, and again, any forgiveness, compassion, letting go, letting go. Water dissolves everything. It's the universal solvent. So working with water, you just trust that water will break down whatever hardness, however difficult things seem. If, you know, just call upon the powers of water and Athena to kind of make a way through so that life can flow in you as well.
Yes, yes. Okay, and then we go to Vesta in Cancer at the bottom of our triangle. I'm particularly fond of Vesta because I am such a household monastic. So I do a lot of my rituals solitary and in my home. But I also love it that she's in the sign of Cancer because my moon is in Cancer. And that is the sign of that's exalted, where the moon is exalted. And it is again the ocean and the waters of the sea, and it's taking care of you, taking care of your inner child, even making sure, because Cancer is also the sign of the mother, sign of the child as well. So, and Vesta's perfect at that, for keeping your inner flame and tending your own hearth.
Yeah. I mean, Vesta is the root word for the word investments. So that I always like it when those goddess root words are still being used every day. So if you think about any time you use money, whatever you invest into, you know, yourself, your children, your family, your job, you're calling upon Vesta. So you want to think very carefully, what do I want to invest my time in? What do I want to invest my feelings in? You know, Cancer is the womb itself. So, you know, going back to, you know, again, really investing in the womb as the source of wisdom.
Yes, so you can take your water and bless your womb. And you can bless your womb for birthing, well, actually, for gestating and birthing all of your projects that are sacred to you, of what you are investing in. So make sure that it's something that is truly worthy of who you are as a goddess on the earth, representing this star goddess Vesta.
Yeah, no, that's great. So what we've got now is we've got this six-pointed Merkaba in place, and you want to feel that sense of connecting to the moon above in Capricorn, and then also Vesta in Cancer below. So, you know, you are that star. You are that six-pointed star.
Right.
You're bringing in the elements. You've brought in all of the goddesses. And so what you want to do is to really sit and because we're dealing with feminine energy, really be receptive. This is a living kind of in the moment meditation. When you just ask to receive from these goddesses, they are bountiful and they will fill your cups and put their energies into the stones and come into your body as living aspects of yourself.
Absolutely. That's beautifully said. So, is that all we have? I think that we need to go over the dates and the times, because this is
Okay.
really important to know, because it's coming right up, right around the corner here. So we want
Okay.
to be in sync.
To clarify that. Okay. So tomorrow night, August the 13th, at after 9 p.m., 9:11 p.m., the moon exactly enters the sign of Capricorn. This is tropical astrology. So anytime from that time until there's a 24-hour period. So that's EDT, that's PDT. It's after midnight. It's on the 14th in Eastern Daylight Time, and then 4 hours later than that in GMT. So, but you have 24 hours to get ready to prepare to do this ritual when this window of opportunity is really being exactly formed.
Right. So that's this Saturday, August
Yep.
13th, through Sunday, August 14th. And you basically have from around, 9
p.m.
PST till
Yeah.
Sunday at, what,
At the same time, around 10 o'clock at night.
same time. So 24 hours.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
from
much.
Saturday night to Sunday night, you can do this ritual anytime in that window of time, because that's when the Merkaba in the sky is forming. And yeah, so go for it, ladies, and empower yourself with these star goddesses to make the shift, to move into this new feminine paradigm of feminine leadership that is so desperately needed on the planet right now, to shift into this new earth, reclaiming the sacred feminine of all of us. And when we all do this, when one rises, we all rise.
So the more women are aware of this, the more of us that do it together, the stronger it becomes. And the universe is aware. So the universe is actually calling us to embody these rituals. And so as you do that, you will get your answers back.
Right.
So I will be doing my ritual, Naima, and I'm in Eastern Daylight Time here in Toronto, and so I just trust I do it at home, usually privately. However you do it, you know, we'll all be knowing each other, we'll be feeling each other, we're all connected here.
Right, right. That's what's so exciting, that here I am, and I'm in California, and so I'm on the West Coast, and Tara is in Toronto, Ontario, on the East Coast. So we're kind of like East meets West, or West meets East, however you want to see it.
Okay.
But we're bridging also two countries in North
Right.
America, Canada and the United States. So this is
wherever you are,
yeah,
we are connected. That's the
we're
whole
all connected. So east to west, north to
north to
south,
south, as above, so below.
all around the globe. So thank you for joining us, and
Thank you.
may the goddess bless you.
May the goddess be with you. So mote it be.
So mote it be.